Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Jimmy and welcome to my new video. So what I'll be doing in this video is going over how I created this image that you see in front of you here. Now ever since I posted this a few weeks back, I've gotten a lot of comments and questions about how I put this together. Did I use a car rig, was it post-production, and everything like that. So I thought I'd create this quick video today showing you the different steps, different processes and programs I use to get this final image. This is by no means a tutorial, it's simply a demonstration which I'll go over all of my Photoshop layers and everything like that, but hopefully it does give you a little bit of insight about how I created it, and it might give you a couple of things to try for yourself. So let's jump right into it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to take a look at is the original files. So if we open them up here, you can see this is the original background plate. Now this was not shot in a city and it wasn't shot in the daytime like the final image looks. This was actually shot in a car park ramp at nighttime, obviously, so there wasn't as many cars. Now you can see this is the background plate. Moving along, this is the shot with the car, so I just put my camera on a tripod so it remained in the exact same spot. Now the next photo is the background plate I used for the city, so I just went into the city one afternoon and took this photo here. Okay, so here we are back in Adobe Photoshop and you can see the final photo here. Now if we turn that off, you can see the original background plate. Now this is after some Lightroom adjustments, however apart from that nothing has been done to it. So the first thing I needed to do was obviously retouch the background plate, which included getting rid of these oil spills, these marks on the roof, and this water on the ramp here. So if we turn on my retouch layer, you can see every little mark is gone. Okay, so the next thing I did was blur the road, and if we turn on that layer, you can see I've blurred it here. Now I didn't do this blurring in Photoshop, and the program I actually used is a program called Virtual Rig. And if you're not familiar with Virtual Rig, it's pretty much a program which is used to simulate a car camera rig. And if you're not sure what that is, it's pretty much a long metal pole attached to a car which lets you get these kind of blurring shots. However, if you don't have access to one or you can't use one in the current location, this is a great alternative. However, it is extremely expensive. But I'm not going to show you how I put this together, but you can see you just draw these lines in where you want it to blur, and you control the different speeds with these different sections and some different settings, and you get something that looks like this. Now it isn't perfect, but this is my very first attempt with the program and I am fairly happy with how it turned out. But I'm not going to make a tutorial just yet until I get a better hang of it, and I'm not teaching you something I don't know very well. Okay, so after I did that, the next thing I needed to do was put the car in. So to do that, I just imported the other photo straight on top, and then I cut around the car using the pen tool. So if we have a look at the car layer on its own, there's nothing else except for the car as well as the shadow. And if we disable the layer mask, you can see everything else is right there. Okay, so after I did that, what I did is add the buildings into the background. Now to do this, what I did was I took that original photo of the city and stitched it around in different sections to get the final look I wanted. So as you can see, this building is the same as this building, and these two buildings here are identical, just mirrored, and this one is a lot bigger. So this isn't how the city actually looked, it was a few different images stitched together in different ways. So after I got that how I wanted it, I just applied the exact same blur using Virtual Rig, and then obviously masked around these poles here. Okay, so the next thing I needed to do after that was blur the shadow. Since I thought the shadow looked a bit weird since it wasn't blurred at all, I just added a slight blur to it, which helped sell the effect. Now the next thing I needed to do was spin the wheels, so if we enable that group, you can see the wheels are now spinning. Now there was one major problem with the front wheel, and that was it was turning way too much. Now this was my fault. I told him to turn it more because it looked better from the angle I was standing at prior to this, but it ended up looking way too much in the final image, so I just took the front wheel and rotated a bit, and hopefully no one notices. Okay, from there I blacked out the number plate since I do that on all of my photos, and then I added some dodging and burning which you won't be able to see through YouTube. So the next thing I wanted to do was start doing the toning of the overall photo. So if we enable this group here and just expand it, you can see there's just a tiny bit of split toning and then a bit of desaturation on most of the image. So the next thing after that is enhancing this light that you can see in the top left hand corner. There must have been a roof light just off to the side here, and you can see it's creating a little bit of flare into the photo. So what I wanted to do was enhance that as well as the light above the car here. So you can see that right here. Now the next thing I wanted to do was add some light coming in through these windows here. Now there's a couple of reasons why I wanted to do this. The first one was to create the look of shooting late in the afternoon in a sunset with the light beaming in through these different pillars here. And the second reason was to kind of just cover up a bit of imperfections and everything like that. So I did that by just adding a couple of really big light bursts coming in. You can see a few streaks of light coming in as well. And I might have gone a bit overboard, but I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Now if you'd like to see how I actually create my light bursts like these ones, I'll put a link to my tutorial in the description below. So one of the final things I wanted to do was add a vignette to the overall photo, so I just did that to darken this corner down here, as well as this corner up here. And this is just to help bring the viewer's attention towards the car and towards the city here, and just bring it away from these corners where nothing interesting is happening. So the final thing I wanted to do was create a gradient color overlay, and you can see that just toggled on and off here. So pretty much it's just cooler down the bottom and warmer towards the middle here where the sun is coming through, and I just think it's a great effect. And that is pretty much it. That's all of the different layers I used to construct this photo here. So thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, I'd very much appreciate it if you could hit that like button to help my channel out. If you want to see more of my work and be notified when I post some tutorials and behind the scenes and whatnot, you can go ahead and like my Facebook photography page in the description, and you can see my photos before I post them anywhere else. However, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.